The next video in chapter 3 is all about cumulative frequency, which you will remember from GCSE, so just a short one here. Now, the adjective cumulative comes from the verb to accumulate, which means to collect more of. So you'll see how it applies to this as we go through. Now, cumulative frequency graph is a type of graph that we use for continuous grouped data. Obviously, because it's grouped data and it's continuous, it's going to be quantitative. It's used to help us visualise the data, and it's also used to help us find estimates of the lower quartile, the median and the upper quartile. So this is a graph just like the box plot that we saw in the last video that's intrinsically linked to the median and the quartiles. So let's have a look at our example then. We are given a table which shows the heights in metres of 80 giraffes. And we're asked first of all to draw a cumulative frequency diagram. So the first thing I want to point out then is this. You'll probably remember that cumulative frequency is acquired by adding up the frequencies as we go down, hence it comes from the word accumulate. So let's do that first. We've got 4, and then we're going to add on 7 to get 11, then we're going to add on 15 to get to 26, add on 33 to get to 59, add on 17 to get to 76, and then finally add on 4 to get to 80. And of course we would expect that this value here at the end is the same as we're told, as the same value as the sample size. We're told there are 80 giraffes because all we've done is added up all the frequencies and we've recorded it, this addition at each stage. Now, the one thing I do want to point out here is that, strictly speaking, these numbers don't go with these classes here. What they do go with, however, is classes that always start at the lowest end. So here we've got the height from 4.6 to 4.8, but now we've added on these 7. So on the next row down, we've got these 2 together, which goes from 4.6 to 5. So strictly speaking, our class now should be written like this. And then we've added on these 15. So we've got those 3 together that make this 26. So that goes from 4.6 up to 5.2. So I could just write it like this all the way down. Height less than 5.4, height less than 5.6, and height less than 5.8. Because all of them have a shared lower bound of 4.6. Now, let's look at plotting the cumulative frequency then. Because as we look at these classes here, the only thing different about each of them is the upper end. We must plot the cumulative frequency at that upper end. So we know that there are 4 giraffes that are less than 4.8 metres high. So we come to our cumulative frequency axes, and less than 4.8, we have 4 giraffes. Because the lower end is 4.6, I'm going to start from 4.6 there. So there are none that are less than 4.6. Next one, let's tick them off as we go. Next one, less than 5, we've got 11. So at 5, we plot 11. Less than 5.2, there's 26. Less than 5.4, there's 59. I'm going to use my ruler now to try and help me be a bit more accurate. 59. Next one, less than 5.6, there's 76 of them. So that's up there. And finally, less than 5.8 is 80 of them. So all of them are below 5.8 metres. Now, we have to join this up with a curved line, which is really hard when you're trying to do it accurately on video, but I'll have a go. So we're going to come through here, up there, move these out of the way, up there, to this one, and 3. Not bad. So there's our cumulative frequency curve. Now, in part B, we are asked to estimate the median height of the giraffes from this curve. Now, the reason it's an estimate, as we've seen already, is because this is grouped data and we don't know the exact values of these measurements that were taken. So it's always going to be an estimate. In order to find our estimate for the median, what we're going to do is say, well, because the total frequency is 80, we're going to halve that, and we're going to find roughly the 40th data value. So we take this and we go n over 2, giving us 40. So I'm going to come here and always draw your lines on to help show you working out for this and to help you do it accurately. Depending on your curve against the one in the book or against mine, your answer might be ever so slightly different, but it's only an estimate. So mine is coming out just underneath 5.3. So I'm happy with writing 5.3 for mine. What does the book go for? The book goes for 5.3 as well. So my median is approximately 5.3 metres. Now for the next one, let's make a note actually here. Let's go, that was found by doing n over 2 is the 40th value. So for the next one, we are asked to find two things, the lower quartile and the 90th percentile. So the lower quartile is going to be a quarter of the way along the data. So we're going to go n over 4, that's 80 over 4, so we're going to find the 20th data point. So let's do that now. The 20th data point, we're going to come across here and down. And I've got around about 5.14, 5.15, something like that there. So let's go 5.15 metres approximately. And then the 90th percentile, we want to find 90% of n. So 90% of 80, which is going to be the 72nd value or data point. So let's do that one. Third colour, yep. So the 72nd value is around about there. And down. I need to replace my green pen. So we have got for around about 5.5. 5.54-ish, something like that. Obviously, if I did this on a bigger scale, it would be more accurate. 5.54-ish. The book goes for 5.52. Theirs is done on graph paper rather than a grid, so square grid, so it's a bit more accurate than mine. Now, for the next bit, I'm going to move this a little bit so it's a bit more in focus. For the last part, we're asked to draw a box plot. And I want to show you how easy it is to draw a box plot from a cumulative frequency diagram, because you start by using exactly the same scale. So you'll notice that I have drawn an identical scale underneath here to the one that's above, because all I need to do now is find out where my median is. So I'm going to use my ruler on there and draw the median. My upper quartile, oh, I didn't put that one on. We'll do that in a second. Let's do the lower quartile. I wasn't asked to do the upper quartile, was I? The upper quartile, of course, is going to be 3/4 of the way along the data, so that's going to be at 60. So let's use the black pen to find that one. I'm not even interested in the value. I just want to know where it is to go down onto the scale below. There we go. There's my upper quartile. Make my box. Then for the whiskers, we're going to go down to the lowest value. Well, we don't know the lowest value, so all we know about it is there's nothing less than 4.6. So we go down to 4.6. And we know that these go up to nothing more than 5.8. So we're going to come all the way up here to 5.8. Draw our little ends onto the whiskers, and there's the box plot. So have a go at exercise 3C, please.